Hello and welcome back to the Tao Manifesting Tarot. This is the tarot reading for serious minded people. People who today are probably feeling just a little bit more optimistic, but still a little bit confused. You see, tarot is the science. I've done this for over 20 years. Tarot is the science of potential, meaning you got to get involved. There'll be a certain energy that comes up. Don't expect to be connected with or impacted by the energy every day. It's not going to happen, so don't look for it. It'll happen once in a while. In fact, tarot readers, like numerology readers, like astrology readers, if you take 100 people, if you're lucky in any one of those three readings to get 10 people that resonate with the message. The others won't. That's fine. Human beings are very complicated. Messages get mixed up. So if you got 10% of 100 people, that's 10 people. Out of any one of those readings, you're doing pretty well. But just because it doesn't resonate with you today doesn't mean that it won't tomorrow or next week, next month. Doesn't make any difference. At some point, you're going to get the frequency matching up with you perfectly. When it does, you will feel it. You will know. That happens. Remember, this is the science of potential with tarot. Do not pass up the feeling. If it's resonating with you, that is a sign. Go like hell. For the rest of us, we'll just wait until that reading hits and moves us to action, because that's what tarot is. Potential, moving you to some kind of action. Doesn't mean physical action, could mean mental action. Something needs to be done or accomplished. By the way, with astrology, that's the science of cycles within cycles within cycles within cycles. And so for my astrologer friends, I've done astrology for over 50 years. Here in the United States, we're wrapping up our Pluto return 250 years ago at the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Pluto is exactly at this spot in the universe. It's here again, and you see what's happening. Kind of a revolution. Add to that Uranus, the planet Uranus, going into Gemini. That'll be coming up shortly. When that happens, times get interesting, because the last time, well, let's go back to the Boston Tea Party. That was one time that we had Uranus and Gemini. And that was kind of set up with a little different situation. But certainly, the Declaration of the Independence, the Revolution, that happened with Uranus and Gemini. Then the Civil War. Then World War II. And now, coming up next year in 2025, we're going to have Uranus and Gemini again. So the science of cycles, we get kind of an idea, a flavor. We won't know the specifics, but we get kind of a flavor for what's coming. You take the Pluto return for the United States, next year Uranus and Gemini. Whew. So what happened in the election, while for many it may be encouraging, the game's not over. Anything but. Okay, this is a prelude to an era, a time period, still more change coming. And you have to pay attention. So that's what astrology does. What the tarot will do was give you an idea when you need to take some action. If you connect with the energy from the reading, the tarot reading, go. If not, I'm here every day, 365, holidays, doesn't make any difference. My goal is to inspire you to manifest, because manifesting is the strongest gift any human being has. And in fact, it is that capacity for manifesting that gives human beings the advantage, for the time being, over robots. Robots right now, Elon Musk showed them last week, they can do everything physically a human being can do and better, right? What they can't do yet is be self-aware. It's our ability as human beings to be self-aware that allows us to manifest. So hang on and develop it, and that's the strength of tarot. So let's get to today's readings. Just 5 cards every single day. Keep it simple, keep it direct, keep a laser beam focused. So there we go. Middle card is where we start. That's the Oracle card. Today it says change in the wind. We had this card a week ago, a little over a week ago. It's an interesting card, although the energy is a little bit different now than what it was about a week ago. Because a week ago, it could have generically referred to the election, change in the wind. Now it goes beyond that. It's a breath of fresh air, or at least the potential for a breath of fresh air. We're going to be trying something new in a different way. And for the people who are unhappy about how the election turned out, it was going to do that. I just did the astrology for you, and that's just basic, essential astrology. Change was coming. Change was coming. The old system is tearing down. Period. And it's over. This simply showed that was the case. And so the breath of fresh air, or the change in the wind in this reading, talks about a much larger kind of an action. People will see things in a different way, hopefully better way. But change is inevitable. So let's see what we have here in terms of the numbers on the card. Up in the left, 1 and 2. 1 means beginning, 2 means making a decision. You put the 1 and 2 together, that equals 3. And when I'm doing this kind of tarot reading, it has nothing to do with a third party. It has everything to do with lining up your mind, body, spirit. So that idea of kind of a universal change in the energies of our mind, body, spirit worldwide, because already people from all over the world have reacted to the U.S. election. That sea change in energy is what's rolling. The transition is what's going to be difficult. So let's start with the cards all the way to the left. We go to the 10 of Wands. Wands are positivity, excitement, enthusiasm, joy, being plugged into a real life. Not just existing, but living. Actually living a life. Ooh, what a concept, huh? And the 10 of Wands talks about a resolution. It is a card that talks about responsibility, challenging burdens. Well, you see here, he's got these 10 wands here. He's had them all together. He's done with carrying that false sense of responsibility. He's done. And he knew a different sense of responsibilities is up and coming. That's the breath of fresh air. That's the change of wind. But the old stuff, it's gone. He's packing them up, getting them out. Going for a whole new value system. That's what the Knight of Pentacles says. That's the next card. Knights always bring gifts. Knight of Pentacles says, here you go. Here's the possibility, the opportunity, the potential to create a whole new set of values. Values that will be better for you, better for everyone. That's the breath of fresh air. You begin to look at the world through a different pair of glasses. See things you haven't seen before. A broader vision, a wider vision, a clearer vision. That's why with the 10 of Wands, you got to put down the bullshit from the old system. Say, no, we're going to move on. We're aiming at a new value system. The meme for today comes from Albert Camus, the French philosopher. He says, in such a world of conflict, a world of victims and executioners, it is the job of thinking people not to be on the side of the executioners. In other words, don't defend those who will kill you. That's what we've been doing. There has been a complete devaluing of human life. Intentional, planned, because the puppet masters have declared such. Bill Gates and others said somewhere between 2040 and 2050, they want 9 of every 10 people on the planet gone. They want less than 500 million people on the planet. They'll take less because they don't need us. They're going to have the robots. And in their twisted logic, they think that the robots are going to serve them. I can right now run down a half a dozen stories over the past 7-8 years where artificial intelligence, robotics has turned on us. Not in serious, heavy-duty ways, but enough to show us that the potential is there, that we cannot control every part and piece. They're still going to surprise us. So when the puppet people say, hey, we're going to get rid of all these humans, we're going to put all these robots in there, they're going to be in for a surprise. So let's move on. We go to the Wheel of Fortune again, the concept of change. It's time. It's destiny. It's an awakening. And that's really what the world has been going through over the past year or two. But I think this election really has opened up the eyes of a lot of people around the world. I know I've seen some programs come from Europe, and they're fired up and saying, we got to change, we got to take back our government. So the idea is, and you know, when you talk Pluto, with our Pluto return, at the end of this month, Pluto's going to be in a brand new sign, Aquarius. That's independence, that's freedom. Uranus in Gemini next year, that's free communication. That's independence. I mean, it's coming. It's here. There is, without a doubt, a change in the wind. In the meantime, we end up with the Four of Swords. Swords are thoughts, ideas. You need to not take a nap like this guy looks like he's doing, but get yourself in a meditative or rest position. Be aware, be alert, and take a look at what is developing. This is very critical because we're in that transition phase, and you can expect a lot of interference. You can expect a lot of lies. You can expect a lot of psyops activities. You can expect much of what you see in front of you in your life will have fantasy, in a negative way, aspects to it. So that's why the Four of Swords is important. If there is a change in the wind, and it is coming, Wheel of Fortune emphasizes it again. If we've had enough, as the Ten of Wands says, and we're going forward with a new set of values like the Knights of Pentacles says, then we have to monitor that change in the wind. We have to make sure it is a breath of fresh air, not carbon monoxide. And it begins with you. That's the reading for today. Back again tomorrow with another Tao manifested reading. Between now and the next time you and I do tarot together, peace and blessings.